Hello everyone. In the previous video, I made an input system that I'm passing the input data from the controller, from the player controller to the player state, and there, from the player state, I translate the input tag data to some action tags, action tag data. So now in this project, I have a spawn system that using Asset Manager, and the spawn system can spawn several things like an enemy or some item class, maybe gold, maybe weapons. But the point is, um, I spawn something, and from there I need to do something with it. Uh, Now I would like to make some sort of interaction um, with the items or with some NPCs. My goal is to interact with the dropped items for now and to be able to add to some sort of inventory system and then destroy the actors from the world. Um, from the inventory system, I will try to equip to the player character. So the character will press a button, will open some widget that have some inventory slots, and then from there, I don't know how I will do it, but I want to pass the data from the inventory to an equipment manager, so the player can equip items. I also want to interact with some NPCs, maybe some sort of a widget for shops or some dialogues. Like I interact with the NPC. The NPC gives the order to open a widget. That being said, my concern and struggle is the input system, actually. So I made this input system based on I would like to give the gameplay ability system to the player state, and with this input system, I can activate any ability without uh, being specific, like uh, input action with the key 1 activates the ability 1. I can only say one time I try activate ability by tag in the player state, and from the controller I will send the action, the input tag, so the player state can translate to action tag. But um this is good for the gameplay ability system, but for the interaction, um, it's a bit tricky because the interaction itself, the component, probably I will put it to the player controller, but the interaction itself will be some sort of rerouting the action tags. So the item or the NPC or the actor that I'm trying to interact decides what the interaction will be. So if I interact with a door, the door opens. If I interact with a pickable item, I will add it to my inventory. If I interact with an NPC, then open a shop widget or something like that. And the problem is that um, I have already a routing inside my player state, and now I don't know how to reroute inside the interaction. So the component will be some sort of requesting to pass around data for the pickups or talk with an NPC. So yeah, I don't know how I will do it, but for now my goal is very minimal to try and interact with an item in the world, and that item will destroy itself in the world. And later on, I will probably make some interfaces to pass around data, and this item will be added on some inventory. So the first thing I'm gonna do is open the content browser, and here I have input systems, message spawn system, and I will make a new folder and say interaction system. This will be a minimal approach. Um, so I was thinking maybe I should use the input system only for the gameplay ability system. So uh, the approach will be everything that has to do with gameplay abilities will go in the player state, and from the player state I will try to activate some abilities. And the other thing is maybe I want to uh, I won't pass any other input data from the controller to the player state unless it's for the gameplay ability system. But for now, the approach will be very minimal, and the goal is just to um, spawn an item, and then from the interaction system, um, maybe with some interface, I will destroy the actor in the world. So I will make a new folder and say component, and there I will make an actor component calling BBC interaction system, and I will go to the generic blueprints to my controller, and add it to the controller. BBC interaction system. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is go back to the interaction system, set a color because why not, and there I will make another folder sync interfaces. So I won't make actually I will make a blueprint interface calling BBI interaction, and this will live inside the item or the NPC that we want to interact. So first thing I will make a function interact, and this will have an input of an actor, and this will be an object reference because it's already in the world. Another function, maybe get the action tag. So the idea here is uh, to maybe pass an input tag from the player controller and then the player state translate into a generic action like um, interact dot activate, and from there I pass the interact dot activate to the interact component, and the component um, collects all the action tags from the interactable actors. So this will take a gameplay tag, and I will say action tag, and another function B is interactable with an input a boolean b is interactable, and I will give a category interaction. So later down the road, I can make many more functions, um, maybe to show some widget or a text or a name, but we'll see. So after I will go to the, for now, I will go to the items, and in the item base, I will implement um, the interface, BPI interaction. Uh, Maybe this, I think this is wrong, but for now I will say equals with get player controller, and if this is true, do something like print string hello. And the action tag, we can make a variable and say action tag, and the action will be, because these items are drops, right? Um, the action, I will make a new tag, inventory dot add, and give the default value to be inventory dot add. So I think I need to come here, and this actually needs an output, not the input. B is interactable. So now I can go here and check the interactable. Okay, now I will go back to the component, and let's see. What I want to do first of all is check if you can interact before you press the button. So in the event begin play, I will say get player character, and from there get capsule, get component capsule, get capsule component, and I will do bind event to on begin on component begin overlap, and bind event to on component and overlap. So now I can create matching event, create a matching event. So here it will be on begin overlap, and here on end overlap. And before I do something with it, I will give the to the item base another sphere collision, and say overlapping collision, overlapping with player, and I will do it like 200 units. and the sphere will be 150. Okay, and now I will go to the project settings to collision, collision, um, not channel, collision, object, object channels. I will do a new one, the interaction, and this will be ignored by default. And another thing that I want to do is in the uh, was it? I'm looking about the collision presets. Uh, where was it? Colli collision. Okay, it's in the collision. So the preset will be for the pawn. I will do an edit and overlap with the interaction. And I think that's about it. And now I can say the overlapping with player. The collision preset will be custom, and the object type will be interaction, and can overlap with interaction. I think anything else should be uh, on ignore, but we'll see. So for now, I can say B is interactable, and if this is true, do something. Maybe print string hello, and don't and on overlap print end. So just to test things around, I will. Oh, I have already items in the level. So I now overlapping with the wait. So I overlap 2 times actually. So in the sphere, maybe I need to ignore pawn, maybe. So now if I play, I print um, hello 1 time and also 1 time. So now I can go back to the interaction system and say if it's targetable, instead of printing, I will do get action tag, and the action tag I will print string, and if I play now, inventory.add, inventory.add. So the idea here is when I overlap with an item or an NPC that I want is to get the action tag, and then somehow when I press the key I pass the action tag to something else. So just to show you, I have in the controller I will pass an action tag and type a name. So the name finds the component by tag, and then I set the action tag to to whatever component has the try to activate with by action tag. So the idea is here the same thing. I will get the action tag, but this time from the item or the NPC that I'm trying to interact, and then send it to another component and execute the interaction logic or something like that. Now the problem is if in- I'm between, for example, two items and overlap with both items, I can press and delete both the items and inside the interaction radius, which isn't really that much of a big deal. But for now, I will keep it this way because I don't know what visuals I want. Maybe I want something to indicate that I can interact only with this item, and then I can interact with another item. So maybe when I overlap, I set the overlay material, or I create some sort of widget to print the name or to show the name. But for now, I will keep it this way, and I will try now to or to the next video, I don't know, to begin making an inventory system, at least to add some items to the system, and maybe I can then show some icons, and after a while I can finally equip, and from there I can deal damage, etc. So yeah, so one last thing for this video, I decide to um, not do anything else, and later when I implement more things and what my games needs or my prototype, um, I will put some details in the system. But a rule of thumb is that here in the objects, if you play, you will see that the objects go up, and that's because you're creating the actors, the components that the actor has. And I believe that if the objects, even if if you destroy the actor, doesn't go down, um, then you have some sort of memory leak, or actually you wasting your memory, basically. And I always check, and I collect the garbage, and then um, I do GC collect the garbage every frame, and then I disable it just to see if my items have any references, and if the object go only up, then somewhere I have some sort of mistake or unwanted reference. So yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching.